boys and girls. Okay, so for Wednesday's math lesson, we left off on lesson 11-2, and that was using our 100s chart to subtract our 10s. When we just went up in our 100s chart, we knew that was 10 less, and we found our answer. Now, like I mentioned last week when we were in chapter 11, I'm going to kind of be skipping some of these lessons that are a little repetitive or that they might be kind of in a tricky way. So we are going to actually skip lesson 11-3 and 11-4. So today for Wednesday, we're working on 11-5. Now, I wish I had some fancy computer that I could show you my screen, but I'm just gonna kind of bring my book up to my iPad so I can show you the 10s frames that are in our book, because I don't want you to miss out on seeing these 10 frames. So today we're working on 11-5, and that is talking about using mental math to think what is 10 less than a certain number. Now, if you remember back to last chapter when we talked about mental math adding 10 more, it's where we think in our head, okay, I can just change that number in the 10s place and make it less when I need to make it less, or make it more when I need to make it more. So for today's lesson, we're going to look at different strategies that we can use to think about a number that's 10 less. So on page 636, it says you have used different ways to subtract 10s. So they told you on that page, it says 35 minus 10. So maybe your brain works like mine, and my first thought was, well, I know that I can draw my 3 10s and my 5 1s, and I'm going to just cross off one of those 10s, and I'm left with 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Or maybe your brain likes the way we did it yesterday with our 100 chart, where we look at our 100 chart and I think, okay, I found 35 and now I'm getting rid of 10. I'm moving up 10 and I see that that lands on 25. Or you might be able to go like this. Let me write it up here. You might be able to say, well, I'm going to look at the 10s place, and I'm going to say, well, 3 minus 1 is 2, and 5 minus 0 is still 5. So my answer is 25. Another way that you could do that would be using these 10 frames. So like for number 1 in your book, it gives you 2 10 frames that are all the way filled up, and then it gives you a 10 frame that has 6 counters in it. So it's asking you to do 26 minus 10. So if I'm getting rid of 10, you can't see it too well on my screen, but in your book, you'll be able to see where they went ahead and crossed out one of those 10s. So they had 26 to start with, then they crossed out a 10, and then they were left with 16. After they crossed it out, they just counted 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So just like in number 2, they have 32 shown on my 10 frame. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, and they want us to get rid of a 10. So I would cross out a 10, and I'm left with 10, 20, 21, 22. So 22 is your answer. So for today's practice, you guys are going to do page 637. And I think I might have actually accidentally written 635 on our lesson plan. So I will send a note about that. 637 is the practice page for today. So it's all about subtracting 10. You can either draw quick pictures to help you add or subtract, not add. You can think it in your brain. You could use the 10 frames if that works best for you. So whatever strategy you are comfortable with, that's the one that I want you to use. So again, that's page 637 for today's math. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.